interesting to consider. The population of Wiltshire are committing menticide on me. Again, that's so very interesting. Indeed, I've made an enemy of Wiltshire police. Therefore, I've made an enemy of large population percentages of the county, because this is very much a police county. Indeed, all these Crown and Empire morons that respect the institution of the British police are morons. So it's all very interesting to consider. As I stated, the Wiltshire police are running an enormous satanic child ritual abuse network interconnected with a very dark organ harvesting and organ trafficking network operating through the butcher shops of the county, which is all very interesting to consider and very disturbing indeed. There are things going on in this county that you cannot possibly imagine would be occurring, but they are, and all under the watchful eye of the custodians of this network, i.e., Wiltshire Police. So it's all very interesting to consider what kind of people are we entrusting our safety to? People that abuse the children of the county, people that harvest the organs of homeless people and malcontents, apparently, indeed. People like me are often served up on the butcher's slab, sacrificed to the demon gods of the Freemasons, their meat sold as pork in the butcher's shops, and their organs harvested through networks of traffickers of Albanian descent. So it's all very interesting to note, as I stated, the Albanian Mafia are a pet project of the British police. This network has been forming since the 1940s and 1950s, ready for the occurrences that would occur in the United Kingdom now, whereby a police state is to be introduced. So it's all very interesting. All of this is coming down here in Wiltshire, with the British police radiating a schizophrenic man for exposing the Devizes police organ child trafficking ring. So it's all very interesting to consider. I am starting to crack up, as I was expected to, because I am a severely mentally ill man. However, I cannot do anything to anyone that I'd wish to do to them, because as soon as I am arrested, I would be placed in custody and most probably killed by operatives of the British police. So it's all very interesting to consider. There are plenty of people around here I would wish to have very stern words with in the street, but due to the fact that all of the supposed local gangsters are in fact police confidential informants, I cannot do anything. Indeed, all of the local gangsters in Devizes and the rest of Wiltshire are confidential police informants and protected child rapists. So it's all very interesting to consider. The narcotics trade in Wiltshire is operated by Wiltshire police with networks of supposed local roadmen and gangsters who are themselves all protected child rapists and confidential police informants. So it's all very interesting. People like Kieran Ather in Devizes and Luca Kerrigan of Devizes. These guys are protected child rapists and operatives of Devizes police. So it's all very interesting. They are confidential informants for Devizes police. So anyone who tries to go against the grain in the drugs trade is reported to the police by these people. Indeed, it's all very interesting to note exactly what is going on in Wiltshire. And because this information is being pumped into the public domain, these names are being researched. And basically everything I am saying about Devizes police is utilized by researchers. However, what with the British police being so powerful and the British police state structure being Leviathan, nothing will probably come of any of this. Indeed, this theory, which is truth on Devizes Police and the wider Wiltshire Police networks, is basically simply going to be the domain of researchers. As much as I'd like for there to be a mass attack on Devizes and the Devizes Police headquarters, this is most probably not going to occur. And these theories are going to become the domain of cranks. So it's all very interesting. Indeed, I have a fondness for cranks, as I am one. This is the thing. Cranks speak in encrypted truth. Cranks are not liars. This is the thing. Devizes Police are attempting to cast me as a liar, but I am not. I speak in encrypted truth. I'm a schizophrenic man with a huge knowledge of Illuminism and how all of this relates to the activities of the paedophile ring being run out of Wiltshire Police headquarters, overseen by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operative Philip Wilkinson, who personally handles 764 networks across Wiltshire. So it's all very interesting to note this Gladio 4 program being run out of Wiltshire Police headquarters, which involves the trafficking, torture, mutilation, rape, starvation, abuse, and murder of children. And this network is being operated by the Wiltshire Police Commissioner, i.e. Philip Wilkinson, the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operative and head of the Wiltshire Police. So it's all very interesting to consider. As I stated before, Philip Wilkinson is known for the abuse of children on 4 continents. And Wiltshire people respect this guy, which is really quite disturbing. In fact, the fact that Wiltshire people have any respect for Wiltshire Police at all is really, really rather disturbing. And the fact that the Wiltshire population want to commit menticide on me for exposing the Devizes Police ring is even more disturbing. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I expect that anybody who wants to can batter me in the street. And even if there are witnesses who would report it, I wouldn't report it myself, but if there are witnesses who reported it, Wiltshire Police would not charge them. So it's very interesting indeed. I could probably be murdered by a Wiltshire so-called gangster, and nothing would happen to them. So I am in a pretty precarious position here. Indeed, I've made an enemy of a whole constabulary. In fact, I've probably made an enemy of the entire police forces of the United Kingdom. But that's the thing. These exposures needed to be done. Someone had to do it. Indeed, I've ruined my life for a good cause, so I do not see it as if I have ruined my life. And for the time being, I can continue with my investigation. It is interesting how, as much as I often attempt to explain other theories, I always come back down to the Wiltshire Police trajectory. Indeed, at the moment, this is probably the most important thing to talk about. This particular tentacle of the octopus that the Wiltshire Police are running. Indeed, there is a Russian outfit operating out of Moscow. We're looking into this with very keen interest. So it's all very interesting. This YouTube interconnects with Moscow. I'm not saying that this network is a network of the Russian state at all, but this YouTube interconnects with Moscow. So it's all very interesting. I've stated before that I have no connections or ties to the Russian state. Therefore, I am not tied to the Russian intelligence structure. However, I have a lot of sympathies with a lot of aspects of Russian culture. And at times, you have to think with the mentality the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I've had enough now of the British. I've had enough now of the population of Wiltshire. Because, as I've stated, the only people I care about in England are networks of delusional and crazy mental patients who I love, and certain village girls in these small towns. However, you have to consider that Warminster is a garrison town. Therefore, a lot of the girls here are inculcated with Crown and Empire bullshit. So it could be difficult to form networks here. That's the thing. It's all very interesting to note. Indeed, Defence Intelligence operating out of Warminster military base are still trying to expose me as a Russian agent. As I've explained, I do not work for the Russian state at all, but I hate the British a lot more than I hate the Russians. So it's all very interesting to consider that. Indeed, there are very, very, very few people in Wiltshire who are redeemable in any way. In fact, I could probably count the number on my hands. Other than that, I have no interest in these creepy paedophile ring people, apart from to expose them. And this I shall do. And what with my YouTube interconnecting with loads of networks on the continent and in Russia, this could be a rather interesting thing going on. As I've stated, the British peace are too powerful for anyone to do anything about this, which is a sad state of affairs. However, I am looking with hope to a certain network operating out of Moscow who may just be able to help me out here. So it's all very interesting to consider. They may just be able to help me out. The problem is, they're blocked off from helping me out officially by the Russian state, which is itself being prosecuted by the British government for war crimes in Ukraine. So it's all a bit of a strange situation. Indeed, the British government at the moment is basically dictating to the Russian government what they can and can't do and what they can and can't say. Indeed, Putin is electroshocked regularly by Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst agents operating through a network of the GRU that is controlled by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I believe there may be a reason I have not been killed, and I'm looking with hope to a certain network, a multinational network operating out of Moscow. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I am in a horrible situation. My mental state is terrible, and I'm surrounded by really terrible paedophile ring people. Indeed, 764 operative in Warminster. Interestingly, through networks connected to the mayor, Councillor Jack Jones. Indeed, I believe Councillor Jack Jones, the mayor of Warminster, is actually a handler for the 764 networks operating in Warminster. This is all very interesting. The richest person in Warminster is a man called Anthony Graham, operating out of the Warminster military base. He is a key Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst asset and handler of the entire 764 network for the Southwest. So it's all very interesting to consider what exactly is going on here. Indeed, Britain is turning into a satanic hellhole, not to mention all the networks of creepy Faith of Ishmael child rapists running around the country also. However, the British people are putting their faith in the British police, which is the stupidest concept they could ever have done. Indeed, this only proves to me that large percentages of the British population are involved in such networks as 764. These 764 are able to operate freely in the United Kingdom because they are a branch of the British police, just as the Order of Nine Angles have legal jurisdiction to operate in the United Kingdom as a branch of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, legally allowed to operate by the British police. Indeed, technically this should be a foreign agency operating on British soil, the Order of Nine Angles, if it is a direct Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst network. This only proves that the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst control Britain. So it's all very interesting to consider the fact that these satanic perverts and molesters of toddlers are allowed to run around the country doing what they want. Whereas I, for criticizing the police's control of Faith of Ishmael rape gangs, get 5 years in a forensic mental hospital. Indeed, there's something seriously wrong going on here. And nobody's noticing this at all. It's crazy how dumb the British are. Indeed, several networks in the United States can't believe this has been allowed to happen. Indeed, what's going on is menticide. The population of Wiltshire are committing menticide on me for exposing the Devizes police network. So it's all very interesting to consider. It is also even more interesting to consider that a lot of the people committing menticide on me claimed while I was in Devizes that they hated the police. Yet, as soon as I went against the police publicly, they began throwing missiles at my house. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, all of the so-called local gangsters in Devizes are child rapists, including James Wayne, who creates Instagram profiles of himself and sends pictures of his penis to 11-year-old girls and younger. So it's all very interesting to consider what kind of people are in Devizes and what kind of ring a Devizes police operating. Indeed, as I've stated, this YouTube connects to Moscow. So there are people analyzing this information and looking into the people that I am exposing. So it's all very interesting to consider exactly what is going on in Devizes and what kind of place the Devizes police are running there. And the fact that the Wiltshire population are prepared to commit absolute menticide on a psychiatric patient just for exposing the fact that the Devizes police were running a paedophile ring. It's all very strange, really. These, as I've stated, this network is not a Russian state organ. So it's all very interesting to consider. As I stated, nothing may happen. But I'm putting some hope in the possibility. This is the thing. It's all a very, very, very strange situation. I hate Devizes police. They are really terrible human beings. The problem is, Devizes Police isn't just the 45 police officers of Devizes Police, it's the whole bloody town. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it there before I start going off on one.